So how do you know this absolutely stunning location?
This is one of my favorite spots to run to. Let's say like 26 kilometers outside of Porvoo by the sea. So all year round, you know, it's a nice run. It's a long run to come here.
Yes.
And make something a little bit more than 50 kilometers. And yeah, but I like it here. As we see now, the sea is still open. Like the river is frozen, but the sea is still open here, so that's really nice. But this is actually my studio. So welcome to my studio.
This is where the magic happens.
I don't know about magic, but work. This is where work happens. So yeah, it's a small space I have here in the old town.
Of Porvoo.
Of Porvoo, yeah. And I've been here a couple of years now, since I got back from Canada.
Let's just rewind a little bit and ask about how you first started getting interested in lighting and visuals, how that whole process started, and did you have any early influences or anything like that?
I think my story is really the usual one. So getting into, you know, playing music and playing in bands when you are a teenager.
What did you play?
I played guitar, and you have this big dream of stardom and you know, stuff like that. So and then a friend of mine asked me to come and work evenings at the local theater. So I got in there and got really into theater, and I liked the atmosphere in theater and ensemble, and you know, the way people work together, and the sort of like magic of theater was really cool. But in the beginning I was more interested in sound. Went to study lighting and sound in Tampere, and discovered that the school was not really offering like live sound or like music production things. It was more like TV and film sound. That sort of made me change over to lighting.
Sure, and I think you mentioned that you had there was a really good professor there in the lighting department, is that right?
Yeah, my lighting teacher Jukka, he was a really cool guy, and he's one of my best friends even these days, and the godfather of my son. And so I think he was he made a big difference that year actually. So yeah, I think the main thing for me was really to meet a lot of different people and to do a lot of different kind of projects, like concerts and theater and dance especially, and even film and things like that. And during the early years, like let's say the first 10-15 years, maybe first 10 years of my sort of career, I was doing lighting and sound.
Is there like a significant show or project that really, you know, sort of made you feel, right, this is definitely, you know, it all came together?
Yeah, there were a couple of productions I remember, like one particular one with Tero Saarinen, where I think I found something where I felt like, okay, this is a door that opened, and a couple of other ones that were that sort of like gave you a lot more confidence, you know, to follow your own sort of feeling and intuition. So like collaborating with Tero was the key, because then like things started to really move, and we started to do shows and you know, premieres in all around Europe and touring all around and stuff like that. So which again like led me to do productions with other choreographers and other companies, like ballet companies. The dance door sort of opened, and I think really like as far as like art goes, like expression and how you work visually with stage, I think the contemporary dance has been like my high school.
You work in a lot of different genres, so you combine a lot of different disciplines, but I know that you feel that dance really shaped your particular style, your signature style.
It's really the open-minded approach to stage and what you can do and how you shape the space and all that. I think that's the key. And there's not like a box that you need to sort of fight with, like, you know, some kind of a concept. It was always so free, you know, you could create like whatever you want. And that's something, it's kind of like an abstract way of thinking, and that's what I really found fascinating from day one. But for me, it's not even like thinking outside the box, it's like to think that there is no box. It's being creative, like, okay, if we have this opportunity of creating something from scratch, then, you know, everything is possible. So that was kind of the mindset that came from dance. And different genres tend to have their own sort of like laws. This is the way you look at things in concerts or in TV or in dance or in ballet, and I think it's always interesting to challenge that maybe those sort of like laws, or whatever you call them, are kind of limitations.
Let's talk a little bit about your work with Cirque du Soleil, because obviously that unites a lot of different disciplines, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
So for you, when did the Cirque project start, and when and how did it start, and how did it develop?
Yeah, I was contacted by Cirque like sometime, I think it was 2016, and we did a first production in 2017, and then I moved to Montreal in 2018 and worked on a couple of productions with them, like the new Allegria that is now touring, and we did some other productions all around. And yeah, I find a really nice connection there. It's amazing people, and the amount of talent that's in this company is just incredible.
You lived in Canada for at least 2 years, didn't you? Just before the pandemic, you were there working with Cirque. How different is it working in Canada than it is working somewhere in mainland Europe like Finland?
Most of my work is international anyway, so I'm very used to, you know, teams being like international teams. You know, people come from different places and everybody's speaking broken English as a working language, so that's nothing new. So it was more a case of getting adjusted to Quebec and the fact that the French language is so strong. But there's so much that this place has offered the world. It's amazing, like Cirque and all the other companies like Moment Factory and these amazing creatives that have come from Quebec. So it was so nice to be a part of that for a couple of years.
You've had a spectacular 30-year career. Are there any moments or outstanding elements from that?
I really think that those kind of outstanding moments or things actually are like collaborations. I think first one always that comes to my mind is collaboration with Tero Saarinen, the choreographer. I think the second one would be collaborating with the Finnish National Ballet and Opera, because I've done so much there. So I think, like, you know, after some time when I'm looking back to my career, that's what I will see. You know, collaborating with, working with the Royal Danish Ballet. That's also super important.
What do you most love about your work?
I think I most love the people. Yeah. There's so many just amazing people in this business, and it's a privilege to meet all these characters. But I also enjoy creating, you know, coming up with things and, you know, combining visual things and making stuff up. That's basically what we do.
I believe there's some quite exciting things on the horizon for 2022, hopefully. Are there any of those that you can talk about or mention?
Yeah, we're opening the next chapter of Ring Cycle at the National Opera.
Finnish National Opera.
Finnish National Opera. It should happen after summer. What else? Like the Snow Queen that just got postponed to next New Year is, of course, it's going to be next New Year, just before New Year. A new production with Cirque, things like that. So really exciting productions on the table, and some smaller productions as well that I hope that are going to happen. Yeah.
Why do we need light in our life?
It is a contrast to darkness. That's what it is. I feel like all the stories that we create and everything and all the designs and all the art lives in the darkness, and that's like the storage of everything. It's like the subconscious is the great darkness, and then you sort of lift things up to the light and sort of like have them visit the world.